We're here with Jerry O'Donnell, voice of Dow Diamond. He's about to give us a tour of the ESPN 100.9 FM studios. Jerry, you ready?
All right. Welcome to ESPN 100.9 FM. We're going to get an inside look at this station and tell you a little of the background of how this station happened to end up in a ballpark. Come on in. This is the out-of-control room. We call it that because mostly it's in control, but it's even more lively when it's out of control. This is the studio's board, which has 24 times 2 inputs, which means we can put 48 different things on the radio. This is our satellite and automation rack of equipment. We monitor several different networks, including Michigan State Spartans network, the Pistons network. We also have ESPN, we have CNBC, where we get our Market Watch. All of these satellite products come into us via satellite to this rack, and it's distributed on the air using a routing system. We also have an automation system which plays commercials automatically and does a lot of the switching for us when we're in auto mode, not when we're live from studio. We have here, the blue box is the emergency alert system box. Whenever you hear those annoying tones on the radio that tell you this is just a test, that's the box that makes the annoying noise. And we also have the naughty button box. If we're in live mode and somebody says something we don't want heard on the air, we can push a button and it goes away. It's pretty cool. I wish my life had a naughty button. So anyway, that's what's going on here with our satellite rack. Over on this side, we have our codec rack. This is a box these are boxes that allow us to talk from anywhere in the world and sound like we're in the studio. This is, for instance, our tie-line box, which we use mostly when we're on remote control. This talks to an identical box in the field, turning audio into digital bits and bytes, bringing it here and turning it from bits and bytes back into audio. It's kind of cool. It's like a really, really upscale telephone. All right. We have our telephone hybrid, which allows not only callers to our radio station to talk on the air, but for us to talk back to them, and for callers to talk to other callers on the air. Sounds like a simple process, but it's not. That's why we have that box. We have a computer that we use for editing. Any of the highlights that you hear on the radio station come from this computer. And over here, the operator has access to not only the editing computer, but also 2 of our streams of streaming audio on the internet. You might have noticed, if you've ever been to our website, that there's one stream called 247, which is our regular internet stream of everything that's on the air. Then we have the Deuce channel, which is what we use when we have a game that we can't put on the air because it's in conflict, so we have the Deuce. That's where this comes from, this area right in here. And we showed you this. This is our automation unit. This plays all of the commercials, all of the satellite feeds, all of the audio you hear on the air runs through this computer when we're in auto state. And here is the controller's interface with the naughty box. That's what that looks like. You see it says cough, start, and dump. Dump. That's a fun radio word. All right. Here's our offices and studio offices where Jared and I do the majority of our work when we're in the building. Then if you walk in here, this room is called the interview/play-by-play room, or Studio A. Brad Golder has his home here in the corner of the studio. And this huge piano-shaped desk is where we do Sports Night, and we do any other interview programs that we do on the radio station from here. On this side is the play-by-play desk, from whence play-by-play occurs when there's a game at Dow Diamond, because we have something no other radio station in the world has. Just outside our studios is a ballpark. That is Dow Diamond. And as far as we know, we're the only radio station in the world located inside a baseball stadium. And that's our story, and we're sticking to it. We have, if you think about it, most radio stations, when they call a game, they pick up their remote equipment and they drive to the ballpark. Even if it's a home game, they have to drive to the ballpark. In our case, it's in our studio. If you see out here, if you look out here at the green desk in front of us, that's the press box where sports writers will be taking their notes during ball games. It's specially outfitted with heaters at your feet and with internet access and power, which makes it also kind of unique to most ballparks. But this This is Robert. Robert playing. Want to go back next door or just shoot through the window? This is the Tommy Suite. We call it the Tommy Suite because this is where Tommy Lasorda goes when he watches a ball game at Dow Diamond if he wants to be inside. This is actually kind of a third booth for us, a booth that we can use for scouts, a booth that we can use for sports writers if the weather's bad. And it's also a room that we use when there's a peanut allergy in the ballpark because it's the one room that's always supposed to be clean of peanuts. So that's called the Tommy Suite. And then next door over here is our production room. Any of the commercials that you hear on the radio station are produced in this area right here using Adobe Audition, which is a software program that allows us to edit and mix together music and sound. And then we interface with our automation system on this computer. Once a commercial is produced on this computer, it moves over to that one. So it's all pretty cool. Over on this side is visiting radio. One time we don't produce commercials is when the entire radio station staff is involved in a baseball game. So we thought we'd use our production booth as also the place for play-by-play for visiting radio. I believe 12 of the 14 teams in the Midwest League have radio on the road, and this becomes their home during Loons baseball games. So that's the tour. ESPN 100.9 FM, your local sports leader, the only radio station in the world that lives inside a ballpark.